Imagine a complex machine, say a car, that's been driven for years. It's dented, the engine is failing, and it's running out of fuel. Instead of heading to the scrapyard, it collapses in on itself, melts down into a single raw ingot of steel, and then reforges itself back into a brand new car, fresh off the assembly line. This sounds impossible, yet a tiny jellyfish, Turritopsis dohrnii, performs a similar feat. When faced with environmental stress, old age, or physical damage, it doesn't just heal, it reverts. The adult medusa, a bell-shaped creature with tentacles, settles on the seafloor and transforms back into its earliest stage of life, a polyp colony. This process isn't regeneration like a lizard regrowing its tail. It's a complete biological reboot called transdifferentiation. Think of the cells in your body. A heart muscle cell is programmed to be a heart muscle cell for its entire life. A neuron in your brain is locked into its identity. Transdifferentiation tears up this rulebook. A fully specialized cell from the jellyfish's bell, a muscle cell for example, can transform directly into a completely different type of specialized cell, like a nerve cell or a stinging cell, to form the new polyp. It's not reverting to a stem cell state and then respecializing. It's a direct career change at the cellular level, a feat that makes most of our own cells look incredibly rigid and limited. For most complex life, aging is written into our cells. There's a concept called the Hayflick limit, a cap on how many times a typical human cell can divide before it stops, usually around 50 times. A primary reason for this is the shortening of telomeres. These are protective caps on the ends of your chromosomes, like the plastic tips on shoelaces. Every time a cell divides, a little piece of the telomere is lost. Eventually, they become so short that the cell can no longer safely replicate its DNA and enters a state of senescence, or cellular old age. It's a ticking clock, and for us, it only ticks down. Turritopsis, however, seems to have found a way to rewind it. The key to this rewinding process is likely an enzyme called telomerase. Its job is to add length back onto telomeres, rebuilding them after cell division. Most of your somatic cells, the cells that make up your body, have the gene for telomerase, but it's switched off. Why? Because there's a dark side to limitless replication. Cancer cells are famous for one thing: they are essentially immortal at the cellular level. One of the first things many cancers do is reactivate their telomerase gene, allowing them to bypass the Hayflick limit and divide indefinitely. Our bodies keep this enzyme under lock and key as a crucial defense against tumors. The jellyfish, through its unique biology, seems to be able to use this powerful tool without succumbing to uncontrolled growth. This incredible reversal isn't a casual choice. The jellyfish doesn't just decide it wants to be young again. The process is triggered by extreme stress starvation, a sudden change in water temperature, or severe physical injury. It is a last-ditch survival mechanism. The adult medusa's body literally begins to deteriorate. Its bell folds inward, the tentacles are reabsorbed, and it becomes a small cyst-like blob. This blob sinks to the ocean floor, attaches itself, and begins the transformation. It loses its form, its ability to move freely, its entire adult existence, all to re-emerge as a static polyp. It's less about living forever and more about hitting the emergency reset button when the alternative is certain death. This raises a philosophical question that science can't quite answer. When the medusa reverts to a polyp, is it the same individual? The polyp colony that grows is genetically identical to the original jellyfish. From this colony, not one, but multiple new medusae will eventually bud off, each a perfect genetic clone of the adult that deteriorated. So, did the original survive? Or did it die and give birth to itself? It has no brain, so there is no continuity of consciousness or memory to consider. It's a biological continuation, a perfect loop of genetic information. But are you just your genetic information? If you were reforged from your base components into a brand new baby, would that still be you?
Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.